What's up, guys? Welcome to Photography Fridays. This week we're following up on last week's episode on wide-angle lenses and, most importantly, the 28mm challenge that I issued to myself and to you guys. Okay, so this 28mm lens is awesome. I really like it. It does a lot, and it does a lot well. It kind of surprised me, the quality of pictures that it turned out. But like I talked about last week in part 1 of this, if you haven't watched it, go watch it and then come back. Wide-angle lenses are kind of difficult to have on your camera as a general lens. They're hard to use in any situation because it's going to back up everything, and you're going to get a big perspective, which can give you a good composition and story in the picture, but it's going to make it hard to focus in on one thing. So that was definitely difficult through this past week of shooting with this lens, but I still loved it. It was still awesome. It was still really fun to do. This is an old Olympus lens, so everything's manual. You have to focus manually. You set the aperture manually on the lens. My camera does the rest, but I still do it manually. But this thing is a beast. It's made of full metal. I also have a UV filter on the front of it just to keep it from, like if I bang it in anything, it'll break the filter and not, my lens. So that's good. Much cheaper to get a new filter for this than it is to buy another one. However, this lens is not that expensive. If you want to get it, I'll put a link down on Amazon in the description. I think it's under $100, so that's really good. My favorite picture that I took with this lens, me and my roommate and a few other people went out on an adventure into the woods, and we found this big field, and the grass in the field was really green, and the sky was blue with a lot of clouds. It just looked really cool, so I wanted to take a picture. So I kind of hung back and I let Mark, my roommate, go walk out into the field, and this is the picture that I got, and I think it turned out really cool. And then I made Mark and my friend Tate pose, and this is the picture that I got of them. But I like the colors that this lens produces. I didn't tweak the colors on those pictures at all. Like, that's straight from the camera, straight through the lens. And that has a lot to do with my camera, but it also has a lot to do with the lens, how it picks up the coating on the glass elements, and just, how it all works together as a whole. I really enjoy this lens. I give it a 9 out of 10. It's an awesome thing. It's fun to use. It's really small. It's kind of heavy because it's made of metal, but it is really small. So on the camera, it's not obtrusive. It's not long and heavy. And really the only drawback that I found was that, it's a wide angle lens. So in a situation where you need more zoom, or you need to focus in on one subject without having to get really close to it, this doesn't really shine, but that's, it's not what it's made for. Doing that challenge over the past week was exactly that. It was a challenge to, make me move, make me try to get a different perspective on things. This lens definitely helped with that. It was really fun to use, and if you didn't do that challenge, I would recommend that you do it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to use a wide-angle lens. Just pick one lens, preferably one with a fixed focal length, so it's not like a 70 to 200 where you can shoot literally anything you want, or a 18 to 24. That gives you options. This doesn't give you options, and it makes you really think about what you're doing. So I would recommend doing that. If it'll help you, just be better as a photographer, and get that image in your head and learn how to create it. And I would also recommend getting this lens if you have a Canon, if you have an Olympus, if you have a Nikon. You can get an adapter. It doesn't matter. Adapters on Amazon are not expensive at all. But I will put a link to this lens and adapters for Canon and Nikon down in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit like and hit subscribe if you want to see more. When you hit the like button, it really helps me. It spreads my video more. It helps me get more viewers and such as that. And hit subscribe if you enjoyed it and want more. Every Friday at 3 o'clock I post a video. Just something simple like this. Sometimes it's a review. My first video was 5 tips on getting more creative and better pictures. You should go check it out. I'll put a link here somewhere. I will see you next week. Thank you for watching.